Okay, welcome back to my channel. This is a quick read for March 2023 for Leo. I'm just going to go through the cards in a general form here, and then we'll be more specific as we go through. So right now I'm looking at the minor cards. Actually, I shouldn't just say minor. There's one major here. But anyway, we've got cards that clarify below, but the main cards out would be the Two of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the Page of Cups, the Page of Swords, and then everything else is just a clarifier. So for the Page of Swords, I've clarified with King, Ace, Seven of Cups, Death card. So it could be a Scorpio that's relevant here as well. And Page of Cups also has the Justice card. Libra is the one that stands out for me on that one. And then the Hierophant could also represent with a Taurus coming through here, and as well Seven of Wands could be defensive energy around that. And then we also have Page of Pentacles here as well. We do have 3 pages in this reading, so that can also be sort of symbolizing being around a lot of young people here as well. And again, these are just clarifiers following, but we'll just start out with a general energy and then just become and then flesh it out as we go along, a little bit more of a synopsis. So for the moment, Two of Wands, for me, that's sort of a halfway card. It means that you're kind of halfway between, you know, doing something or maybe even considering a collaboration, because the twos represent that for me here as well. But with that Two of Wands energy, it does generally mean there is success that is going to be coming up ahead, but you're not really quite at that point. The lock is what sort of I'm focused on here when I see that card. So to me, there is an element of something is still kind of locked away from you at this time, but you are in a space where you feel a lot more confident making your decisions, though, especially with the Hermit card. However, also on that note, and again, this is further out energy, so you're not right in that space right now. You're in the space of sort of contemplation here about how to unlock, you know, what is the next step basically to going forward, because I do see a lot of small entry steps here with the Page of Pentacles and then the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords. So to me, there's there could be some other people here that are wanting to come in and help you out, but you're still in a place of trying to solitary energy here with the Hermit. I mean, making wise decisions, coming from a place where you certainly are, you know, more interested in, I would say, very focused energy, especially with that Devil energy. Like there's a lot of intensity around needing to make a lot of money here is what I would say. A lot of intentional focus, very concentrated. But again, even with the Two of Wands as your start out card, I mean, it still does indicate that you are possibly considering some kind of partnership versus going it alone. But overall, I feel like you are you're in the place of starting a lot of new things here. So again, this is a lot of newer energy here. Long-term commitment with whatever it is, but it's still a lot of newer energy. So again, this is just general energies. I mean, it's not going to speak to all of you. It won't resonate for everybody. Everybody's making on the same timeline, because you're all making decisions at various points in your life, and it won't be all within the same week. So some of you, this may resonate a little further out. But overall, the gist of the energy is that this is not predictions. It is just general energy. So you can always work with that and make different decisions based on the energy that you see up ahead. That's how I interpret with the tarot. So again, what I see here with that Two of Wands is, just to kind of backtrack here a bit, this is really that card of you moving in the right direction, and you're doing it in a very wise-minded space here from the Hermit card. So again, I feel like you're contemplating maybe going into collaboration and expanding something here. Again, it's a longer haul situation, or you could be just dealing with, as I say, corporation or something that's more structured here with the Hierophant. But it definitely feels as though you are moving in the right direction and things will unfold here. But at this point, I think the main issue is just to get going, because you have so much energy here about getting started with something. Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Page of Swords. I mean, there's a strategy that's yet to come into play here. There's also could be dealing with a Scorpio energy with the Death card, but there's a lot of things yet to transform. And again, even with the Page of Cups, I mean, there is something intuitive here that is coming through to sort of help you move things ahead, but you're really doing it in a very balanced fashion. I feel like or at least you're in the place of considering it here in March. And then as the month sort of progresses, and again, some of you, it may be further out, as the month progresses here with the Page of Pentacles, I mean, this is a very grounded energy. However, on that same note, there might be some over expenditure that is coming in that I would normally say the Devil card in that instance might be overspending to your detriment, but not necessarily in this particular situation. It's almost like you have to, you know, spend money to make money is kind of what I'm seeing there. Again, I also see that, you know, when we're looking at the Page of Pentacles, very grounded energy. So, I mean, this is you sort of, you know, for those of you that are considering a collaboration on a business project or something creative, it's still very good news that, you know, through those cooperative efforts, you will actually have some things that will benefit you over the course of this month. So when I say collaboration, it doesn't necessarily mean everybody's getting into a business all in the month of March, but it certainly can be discussions of how to move something ahead, how to creatively market something, or whatever that is for you. But it does seem like there's something will improve in regards to strategy, finance, and those kinds of things here, based on, you know, you having some kind of connection to other people. And I do feel like, as I say, there's a lot of potential here there, you know, in regards to, you know, turning an idea into some kind of workable plan here. But as I say, even on a spiritual level, it does sort of lend itself to the idea that things could be, you know, you moving towards something that would like workshop oriented or something like that, that again is going to be connecting to other people in some way. But again, it just feels like you're opening up to more possibilities either way. And just to kind of like, and again, even with this energy, the Hermit, this is still further out. This is not energy that you are currently in yet. I do feel like this is where things are headed, however. So, I mean, the Hermit still has that energy of I'm doing things alone. I'm sort of reflecting on my space right now. I'm still trying to make some decisions. I'm still searching for a bit of the path here, is what I would say the space that you're in currently. So I just feel like you are either wanting to test the waters a little bit with something before you kind of move ahead, or you need to tie up some loose ends here and able to complete this process. But most of it feels like it's more about, because I say, you know, tie up loose ends because I see the 9 here with the Hermit. That's very close to a finish line. But it still feels like you're about to move into this new energy here fairly quick. I do feel like you are, you know, I wouldn't say at any crossroads necessarily, so much as it's just taking a little bit of space or a little bit of distance in the month of March to be able to, you know, figure out how you will best benefit financially from, you know, the direction that you're committing to. I do feel, like I say, you've got the ability to you know, to really come forward here, because all these cards are very strongly committed to, you know, even the Justice card, finding balance here. I mean, the Justice card in itself, especially too with the Page of Cups, this is something that's coming in for you. So this definitely still speaks to that energy of, you know, creating some kind of impartial kind of balanced neutral zone. And there's a compromise that might be made in terms of a love scenario here as well for others, just because I also have the Death card here so close to the Page of Swords. So there might be, even in a business situation, there might be some kind of compromise that is required. But again, like, I don't feel like it's anything that would be very difficult for you to do at this point, because it feels like there's still a lot of new things that you'll need to compromise on anyway, and you probably will throughout the process here. But it still feels, it could be, again, could be dealing with a Libra energy here as well, even though this one's a little further out with the King of Swords. But it still kind of speaks to, you know, things moving ahead either way. But it feels like there's a decision that you're still, like I say, pondering here at the beginning of the month. And it's just a matter of bringing that into balance with your priorities and this level of commitment. And again, you know, I feel like you're very strongly committed to this situation. And again, maybe it's because there is money that has to be laid out and able for you to go ahead with something. But either way, I do feel like it, you know, it is a goal that you're going to accomplish either way. It's just that there's a lot of really new energy around it. So even when I look at the Hierophant, of course, the Hierophant is also that card of some pretty good energy. It is a 5, so that does mean there's some changes that will be made in and around a governmental agency or a structure or organization or a group of some sort that's really relevant here. It does speak to higher education here as well for some, and that certainly can very well be the case that it is required, because Page of Pentacles to me and the Hierophant right beside one another are sort of that commitment to education in some way, or an established way of doing things. So, you know, that to me is that you might be, for some of you joining an organization, there might be a lot of younger people around. For others, like I say, you all have slightly different scenarios, but that's just the general energy. Take it as it resonates here. But there is still some sense that you are going to be, you know, in some kind of connection to a lot of people, younger people likely, in an organization or dealing with those kinds of things here. But either way, I mean, even if you're following a structured sort of long-term commitment scenario, there's a lot of energy that will be required here. With that Seven of Wands, you're still in a good position when I see the Seven of Wands. The main card out here is the Hierophant. So I feel like this is the card that you need to really sort of lock down on. In other words, incorporate your ideas, do something that is more established, do something that's stable this month. You know, do things that are a very practical investment in yourself or in whatever it is that you're trying to, you know, build on here. But like I say, I mean, I don't really see you being challenged so much. I mean, there could be a bit of a challenge here with the Devil card and the Seven of Wands, but overall there's balance and harmony with the Justice card. So a lot of this is really kind of neutralized there. So even if there was some disagreement or instability briefly, it doesn't, you know, bode unfavorably for you. It is still, you know, because it's a very integral kind of position with the Justice as well as higher commitment from the Hierophant. So I do feel like it's a really centered kind of grounded energy here that I see. So moving into the other cards, and again, the rest are sort of minor arcana. So I feel like the bigger decisions are based around, like I said, the Hierophant, and you know, really committing to a particular path that's a little more traditional and rooted and grounded and all of those things. But again, it looks like there could be a requirement for you to sort of involve yourself with some other people here, and able for that to kind of round about. Most of the cards again here are still, like, a lot of the pages are relevant here because the pages are still new energy. Like I said, I still feel like you've got a lot yet to kind of unfold as far as you know, because you're even still dealing at the end of the month with that Seven of Cups energy. Like, there's still some things that you're near finished dealing with, but you know, you're just at some kind of decision type of decision that's required here before you can move ahead. And of course, that inspired idea will be Ace of Wands at the end of the month. But as I said, I mean, there is still really good energy here with, I don't see the Page of Wands, but I do see the Two of Wands. So I feel like you're already acting on an idea, and now you just need to find the practical steps to kind of make it happen, and the strategy. The Page of Cups is still a card of, you know, it could be that with that Page of Cups, it's kind of, it is sort of that childlike wonder that goes with that card. But when it's coupled by the Justice, to me, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio could be relevant here also. But I just feel like it's a really intuitive sort of card for you to follow and able to bring about some balance here. But you are, lots of cards here that indicate that you're still moving in the right direction, like I said. So things are kind of moving into an upward swing, and as long as you stay on path with your intuition, you know, you're not going to be repeating anything. I feel like you can rely on lessons here as well with that Justice card. That's just that combination. Again, when I see the Page of Pentacles, I mean, that's still very positive, positive emotional cards. It's, you know, very positive cards, period. It's, you know, enthusiastic. It's kind of this student, you know, again, with that Hierophant card, feels like things will be going in a favorable way, either way, even if you're uncertain about that journey. But it could even be a message that's coming through here that might be dealing with Capricorn energy, but again, it's still something that I feel is possibly dealing with somebody who is being a little bit immature here with that Capricorn energy with the Devil. But either way, I still feel like it's, you know, in around money or finances or a new project or something that's new that you're trying to build or trying to move forward with. Somebody may be childish with the money. That could also be another scenario involved there. But I feel like either way, you know, it's still not really putting you in any vulnerable spot yet. Because the energy is still one about, you know, still one of curiosity with all these pages as well. So again, this could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here also, but either way, it's a curious mind, and you are just in a place where you're trying to kind of finalize, even with contracts, things of that nature, especially too when I see Justice card, Page of Swords, King of Swords, you know, further out here, and Death card. Those to me is kind of finalizing something and getting something concrete. So again, contractual, you know, could be in around a relationship with a younger person, something like that. Business or significant relationship, however that resonates for you. But I just feel overall there is just a sense that there is something that you're curious about. You're really doing your research, very resourceful. I feel like you're communicating well here, and it definitely still feels like there's some news of some sort that is going to be coming through here. And again, whether this is a contract that's coming in or a concept that somebody wants to share with you, you know, a thought or an idea about something here. Either way, there's a lot around that energy. So also, so that's the main energies that are out. And I guess I can go through some of the other ones here, although I've touched on a few of them already. When we get into the energy of the wands, so going into the Seven of Wands with the Hierophant energy, I mean, this can speak to sort of that level of being in a good position, you know, against, you know, any kind of opposition, or there could be a reaction here as well, but to some kind of long-standing commitment or organization or something that's been, you know, around in your life for some time. But either way, I mean, there's still an element of teaching and learning here in both of these cards. So with that Seven of Wands, I feel like this can be you still steadily working toward the realization of some goal. There could be a little bit of resistance against, you know, moving in this direction, you know, either with a commitment to a person for some of you, and for others, this is going to be around, you know, some sense of business that you're, you know, some direction, corporate or structured or whatever, that you're kind of resisting a little bit here, but it still feels like it's moving. You're meeting the challenges, tying up those loose ends, because it's all around, like I say, the Nine of Wands, and we've got the Seven of Wands. So it feels like you're really kind of just pulling everything together, believing in yourself, and kind of moving it forward, but staying to the vision overall is really the message there. You might be tested a little bit around a situation there, and that might be why we see the Justice card with the Seven of Wands and that Devil energy. There might be a little bit of a test here, especially too when we're at the Nine with the Hermit, because usually it hits to the, well, Nine of Wands is usually my card of another last test, but overall, I still feel like you're still moving in around the direction of completion here. So it just feels like you're pulling in all your, you know, tying up all those loose ends and kind of moving something in the right direction here now. So the next card out, I think I've already kind of touched on, sorry, the Justice card, but even with the Devil card, sometimes that can represent a lot of energy as well around somebody who is quite dominant and maybe CEO kind of energy that you're dealing with. Somebody who's all about the money or has the offer for this money, something like that. But again, it still feels like a favorable kind of connection if that is the case. But it is still about looking closely at some of the details of a contract, I would say, just to be on the safe side. Even though there is justice in the situation, it does seem to be kind of keeping you in the right balance of things. When we get to the card of Death, of course, that is the 13, so that is a 4, still trying to create some balance around a situation. But the Death card is a transformation of some sort. So again, I feel around the communication of some sort, there has been some rapid change here. Again, could be a Scorpio very strongly involved here. Scorpio or Capricorn. I do see a lot of them here, the air signs with the as well with the King of Swords, Libra. But again, still feeling like with that Death card, there is the potential that something has to be negotiated to sort of move in your favor here. And I feel like you're sort of pondering something. And again, there could be the sense that you need to invest a fair amount of money into something. And that might be why you're a little resistant. But I feel like there's a compromise that's going to be made here, or has to be made for something to change, because it feels like enable for it to balance out in the way that you would need it. There has to be some modification to something, because that is still a card of something improving here, because it's, you know, kind of an end and kind of finishing off the end of negotiation or some difficult sort of space there. But like I said, I still feel like, and this could even represent dealing with the taxes of some sort here as well for others of you. But again, that Death card is still speaking to, you know, ending something and kind of moving in the favor of something else. So something has had to change, alter, metamorphosize, whatever that is for each of you. It's a little different here. Again, King of Swords still feels like it could be something contractual that you're kind of dealing with here. A lot of cards kind of even in and around that that seem to be relevant, but again, kings are dealing with a mature sort of energy here as well. So whether this is male or female, that king is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius kind of energy. And there's still a lot of energy around, you know, a legal system or a situation that has to be fairly dealt with and will be fairly dealt with. So just know that if there is something that you're in question or concerned about, I wouldn't worry about it, because it feels like things are going to be communicated effectively. And it still feels like you've got some options available to you. I don't feel like this is going to go in a wrong direction. So I feel like you are able to, even with the King of Swords, like I said, that's somebody who's got a fairly high standard in a situation. So again, whether you're dealing with somebody of that nature, you know, or, you know, somebody is possibly a very dominant kind of controlling type of person, that could also be a part of it. But overall, it's still boding well for you. So when it gets to the Seven of Cups, like I said, that is the card around can be around fantastical thinking, a lot of, you know, ideas that could be coming to mind here. For me, it's more along that line, because all the cards are very positive, and it's definitely you trying to figure out some kind of innovative way of coming up with this new direction here and moving it forward. So this is where you're at. You're in this period of trying to make something pay off for you. And again, it still feels strongly around negotiations, around something that is contractual, that is kind of coming to a close here on that front. But it's definitely, you know, knowing that you've got some options here, and it's just a matter of how you're going to either put money into an investment towards something that, to me, feels like Ace of Wands is that inspired idea, you know, something that that you want to manifest, that is, I feel, very practical goals that you're working on here. And like I said, it feels like it's a lucrative sort of pathway, you know, for whatever this direction is. And I think if you just focus on what you want, as I said, and you kind of do the practical steps, which looks to be how you're making out here, and you deal with your legal obligations here in negotiating in a way that's favorable to you, I do feel that's how things are going to work out. I don't feel like you're going to leave the situation feeling more confused than when you went in. Nothing like that. It feels like you've kind of completed this, and now there's some kind of new spark or new energy that's coming in with the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, again, like I said, for some of you, this could be a new job or something up ahead. You're not in that space just yet. This is still energy that is still coming in. So again, I feel like you have a lot of new things to kind of move forward on here. Like I said, there's a lot in regards to pages. There's a lot of contemplation, and even though we've got the Two of Wands here, it's like you're taking some current existing idea, modifying it in some way, and then it's kind of being transported into some, you know, new branch or new beginning of something else. So again, for some of you, this is a new job, new chapter of some sort that's coming in. It's a little further out because the energy that you're in right now is a lot of contemplation and negotiation. Again, because you're still in the page energy on every one of the cards, basically. But it is a new journey that's up ahead once you are able to negotiate out this situation. So then I feel like a new chapter will begin, and you'll be able to figure out how you're going to, either raise money or whatever it is here that's kind of resonating here. Again, it's still earnings going to increase. I don't feel like that's coming in just yet. I feel like the money situation is still being kind of worked through for whoever, again, this resonates for, but I feel like you are gravitating toward a whole new beginning here, because the Two of Wands is going to be something that will allow you to be successful with whatever the goal is. So it's a good plan. Just need to negotiate out the energy. And like I said, further out, there's a lot of balance and justice in contractual situations, legal situations, or long-term commitments. But you're definitely doing a great job in the month of March. So that's what I have for you, Leo. Keep moving forward, never give up, and I'll do future reads out here for you as we go along.